This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 534.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Why? Hello, everybody. This is Adam Silva, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have one WordCamp next weekend. WordCamp Vigo in Galicia, Spain. It is May 25th and 26th, a 2-day event, and that'd be awesome to go to. You know what? I'm debating on having y'all, listeners, pick a camp for me to go to, like a month out, and I'll just go. Just if we vote on it, I don't know, something like that. Let me know if that works for you. I'll just say, I always say I want to go to one of these camps that's, not in my backyard kind of thing. So let me know if that works for you, and I'll just go. Just get on a plane and go for it. Something like that. What do you think? Let me know. All right, moving on. Segment 1 in the news. 2 things to talk about here. First and foremost, Cloudways brings back some options. Back in August 2023, DigitalOcean acquired Cloudways, and they took away Vultr and Linode as options for servers. They have brought those back. I'll link to the press release in the show notes. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. So because I guess obviously those Vultr and Linode servers were in direct competition, but at this point they brought it back based on, from what I read, customer requests, and I have actually a Cloudways account, and I do use a Vultr server for my dev server. So Cloudways has brought it back. So that's kind of nice. And also in the news, actually 2 more things. The WordPress Community Collective and GoDaddy has launched a new program to empower and promote underrepresented speakers in WordPress. So that's cool. That was shared by my friend Courtney, and there's a link in the show notes about all that as well, so check that out. And lastly, my Silly Little Goals project is coming up on 1 year. If you're not signed up, you should go sign up for that. And if you've been playing along for the last year, there's also a survey. I'll link to that in the show notes as well. We'll love your feedback as I move into year 2. So that's cool. All right, is that it for the news? Yeah, that's it for the news. All right, moving on to segment 2, the meat potatoes, career shifts and internships. Okay, now I've spoken about it in the past, business burnout and whatnot. It's a real thing. And yes, I've shared that I've gone through it. I've had it off and on over the years. But this week, I'm not talking about burnout. Rather, after listening to another podcast recently about wanting to shift careers, it was a Q&A thing. I forget which podcast it was. I wish I remembered. But anyway, I heard about older people in tech looking to shift careers and maybe do an internship. And I was like, well, what's the definition of older? Turns out 50 and over is older, which I thought was interesting. So as I am in that demographic, I thought I'd look into it and see what does it take and why would you want to do that if you want to jump out of tech into something else, and can you get an internship? So I have a couple breakdowns here, a couple different sections. First and foremost, here are 3 ways someone in their 50s might consider transitioning out of technology industry. Okay, number 1, leverage a transferable skill. Of course, obviously you want to identify and leverage the skills that you've honed in your tech career that are transferable. They might include project management, problem solving, analytical thinking, leadership, communication, because having those and transitioning into a field such as teaching, consulting, or even like nonprofit management could allow you to use those abilities very effectively. Okay. Number 2, you're going to want to maybe explore consulting or freelancing, which sounds weird, but it's a true thing. If you prefer to maintain some sort of connection to technology while exploring other interests, you could consider this because it keeps 1 foot in it and 1 foot out, I suppose, is the way to look at it. The path provides flexibility, of course, and opportunity to work on a variety of projects. So maybe consider consulting or freelancing. And number 3, this one I really lean into is pursue passion projects or a hobby. Because you want to think about hobbies or passions that you've always wanted to explore, but never had the time for. Whether it's writing, photography, gardening, cooking, turning a passion into a career can be very fulfilling and also less stressful. For example, if you loved writing, you could consider freelance writing, starting a blog, writing a book, kind of goes back into that exploring consulting or freelancing. So now that's all great, but what about the steps to facilitate the transition? Well, here are 4 that might be of interest: networking, continue learning, volunteering, and career coaching. Kind of diving into those. Networking, obviously, leverage your existing network and join a professional group in your area. It can open doors, meet new people, provide valuable insights. Continuing learning things, take advantage of online courses, workshops, seminars, Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. There's plenty of things out there. I've talked about those in the past as well. Volunteering can also obviously help give you a practical experience, expand your network, give you a feel for the new industry before committing fully. I love the volunteering aspect because there's no real risk to the other company or organization. And it's more like you're just being helpful and also learning. So there's that. And lastly, of course, career coaching. Now, if you will go out to engage with a career coach, you want to find one who specializes in midlife career transitions, because that person can provide personalized guidance and support throughout the entire journey, and they have that experience as well. Typically, they're going to be older than you because that makes the most sense. If you find somebody who's 24 trying to give you a career coach in midlife, I think that's a problem. So, okay. Now, on the issue of becoming an intern after the age of 50, well, it is doable, as awkward as it sounds. And trust me, it's bold, it's commendable. It's something that can really provide a valuable experience. And there are a couple benefits that you really want to consider. Those being these 4, in no specific order: hands-on experience, because you get that practical experience and exposure to a new industry or new role. Networking opportunities, interning really lets you expand your professional network within that new field. Because if, like in my case, let's say I was going to go from WordPress into fitness and running specifically. I don't have experience in that network at all. I have no connections there. Okay. Number 3, bridging the gap. Internship can serve as a bridge between your past career and your new career. It makes the resume more appealing to a potential employer. And of course, confidence building. Gaining that firsthand experience can really boost your confidence in your ability to succeed in the new career path of choice. Okay. Lastly here, some strategies on securing an internship from what I found online. Number 1, target the right organizations. You want to look for companies that value diversity, have a culture of inclusion. Startups, nonprofits, institutions, can be much more open to a non-traditional intern. Again, age here, there is ageism in tech, and it's a real thing. And we keep seeing people getting laid off all the time, so keep that in mind. You want to leverage your network, use existing people reach out to former colleagues, let them know you're looking to maybe, jump ship into a new industry altogether. You want to tailor your application, that's number 3. You want to showcase your experience, as number 4. And you want to be flexible, because if you're not flexible, you're going to have a problem. Being open to unpaid or very low pay internships, if financially feasible, is key here. It really is. Okay. A couple of success stories. Joanne Lipman, a former journalist who took on an internship in the digital media space. She did that and pivoted her career. Susan Fowler, after a long career in publishing, she interned at a tech startup and eventually transitioned into a full-time role in the tech industry. So she came into tech, where some people want to leave tech. Anyway, so again, just some ideas to consider as we all get a little bit older and, in technology and layoffs and just the shifting economy in the world we're around. Just want to share with you that it is possible to, look into the next chapter of your life. All right. If you have any suggestions or ideas, or you've done this, you want to talk about it, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it as well. All right, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. Actually, based on what we just spoke about, I want to mention Clifton Strengths. It used to be called Strength Finder. It's like a personality assessment about what your brain's good at. They changed the name from Strengths Finder 2.0 to Clifton Strengths. I have no connection to them. I took this 15 years ago. It's amazing. It's a whole bunch of questions. It takes a couple hours, or an hour, maybe 2, I don't know. But check it out. Link in the show notes if you're interested in that. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that speak pipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon. You can also buy me a coffee. Links on the website there. If you want to sponsor the show, I would love to talk to you about that. There's a form you fill out, and I'll get right back to you. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.